In 2007, Nokia controlled nearly half of the global mobile phone market. If you owned a phone, chances are it was a Nokia. The company was so dominant that competitors seemed irrelevant. Yet less than a decade later, Nokia's smartphone business was effectively dead. How does a company go from ruling the world to becoming a cautionary tale? And could artificial intelligence have changed the outcome? Welcome to the Shift Report, where we analyze the shifts that create winners, losers, and the future of business. Today, we're uncovering how Nokia lost the smartphone revolution, what led to one of the biggest collapses in tech history, and whether artificial intelligence could have changed the company's fate. Let's begin. Most people think Nokia started as a phone company. It didn't. Nokia began in 1865 as a paper mill in Finland. Over the next century, it expanded into rubber products, electrical cables, and electronics. Then came telecommunications. By the 1990s, Nokia had made a bold decision. Instead of trying to do everything, it focused on one thing: mobile phones. And that decision changed everything. The company's phones became famous for three reasons. They were durable, reliable, and simple to use. The Nokia 3310 became one of the best-selling phones in history. People joked that you could drop one from a building and the sidewalk would break. By the early 2000s, Nokia wasn't just winning, it was dominating. At one point, nearly 1 out of every 2 phones sold worldwide carried the Nokia brand. Then everything changed. January 9th, 2007, a date that would change technology forever. Steve Jobs walked onto a stage and introduced the iPhone. At first glance, it looked like just another phone, but it wasn't. It was a pocket computer. While Nokia focused on hardware, Apple focused on the experience: touch screens, apps, internet access, a complete ecosystem. The game had changed, and Nokia didn't realize how quickly. Inside Nokia, executives still believed their existing operating system, Symbian, could compete, but customers were already moving on. The future wasn't just about phones, it was about software, and Nokia was playing yesterday's game. As Android devices exploded in popularity and Apple continued to innovate, Nokia struggled. Projects were delayed. Software updates were inconsistent. Internal teams disagreed about strategy. Meanwhile, competitors were moving faster every year. In 2011, Nokia made a desperate move. It partnered with Microsoft and adopted Windows Phone. The hope was simple: create a third ecosystem capable of challenging Apple and Android. But consumers had already chosen their winners. Developers followed the users, users followed the apps, and the app ecosystem followed Apple and Android. Nokia was trapped. In 2014, Nokia sold its phone business to Microsoft. The company that once defined mobile phones had lost the smartphone war, but surprisingly, this wasn't the end. Instead of fighting a battle it could no longer win, Nokia reinvented itself. The company shifted its focus to telecommunications infrastructure, 5G networks, cloud systems, fiber optics, AI-enabled networking. Today, Nokia helps power the digital world behind the scenes. Most consumers rarely think about Nokia anymore. Yet much of modern communication depends on technology the company provides. The lesson? Losing one market doesn't have to mean losing the future. Now let's answer the question we asked at the beginning. Could AI have saved Nokia? The answer is possibly, but not in the way most people think. Imagine if Nokia had access to today's AI-powered market intelligence systems. AI could have analyzed consumer behavior, technology trends, app usage patterns, search data, developer activity, and investment flows. Years before the smartphone market exploded, AI would likely have detected a simple but critical shift. Consumers weren't looking for better phones. They were looking for better digital experiences. That's a very different business. AI could also have helped leadership test strategic scenarios. What happens if touchscreens dominate? What happens if apps become the primary source of value? What happens if Android reaches critical mass? Instead of relying on assumptions, leaders could have evaluated thousands of future possibilities. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Even perfect AI wouldn't guarantee success. Because data doesn't make decisions. People do. Many companies see disruption coming. Very few act quickly enough. The real challenge wasn't information. It was execution. And that's a human problem. Nokia's story is not just about failure. It's about adaptation. A company that once ruled the mobile phone industry lost its crown because it underestimated a technological shift. Yet it survived because it found a new purpose. And in an era where AI is transforming every industry, Nokia's greatest lesson may be this: technology doesn't destroy companies. Ignoring change does. So the next time you hear a familiar Nokia ringtone, remember, you're listening to the sound of one of the greatest business lessons in history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks for watching,